My name is Ezra Tingler. Most of you were probably in the first presentation that I did on the use of Ansible within IT. So I'm going to talk about Cloud Insights today. I'll start off with a little brief explanation of myself and my organization. I'm a senior storage engineer with NetApp IT. I've got a lot of experience. I've been with NetApp for a little over 8 years. I've worked on both our storage ecosystem services and our capacity and performance, and I'm currently responsible for a lot of the automation with Ansible and Python and reporting and ingestion of new data service solutions. The Customer One organization, I'm not sure if anyone or everyone is familiar with it, but Customer One organization is an organization within NetApp that uses our own products in-house. We provide feedback to the product teams, and we also share our use cases and results with our customers and our partners to give a real-world example of how the products can be used in your environment. So to give a little bit of an explanation about our environment, NetApp's a fairly large organization with a little more than 10,000 employees, offices in about 45 countries, and our MPC private cloud, where we have a self-service provisioning in about 10 minutes. And again, our Customer One organization, which we use to add value by solving IT challenges with our products and solutions and partner solutions. And, the early adopter program where we adopt, use our own products at early release so that we can, again, provide feedback to the product owners so that we can make sure that we're continuing to provide value to them as well and feedback. We have about 63 petabytes and a little over 400 storage controllers, and nearly 6,000 servers, over 375 applications, and most of those, or not most of those, but a lot of those are hosted in the cloud on Amazon or Microsoft Azure. So that's just a little information about our environment, just so you kind of get the idea of where we're coming from and where we might use Cloud Insights within our environment. So why Cloud Insights? So Cloud Insights is an infrastructure monitoring and optimization tool that's designed specifically for today's cloud-based infrastructure and deployment technologies. It's simple to use because it's hosted in the cloud. It's easy to get it up and running fast. You have real-time data visualization of your overall topology, availability, performance, and utilization on all of your infrastructure in the cloud and on premises. Multi-vendor resources, and of course, it can also include support from NetApp's Cloud Volumes, HCI, and AFF, and any other NetApp products, and several products that are not necessarily NetApp products. The one thing is it can monitor the relationship between all of your devices, and there's a mapping between your cloud, your items that are in the cloud, all the way down to that whole relationship throughout. So what business benefits does Cloud Insights provide? Just like some of the other tools, it provides monitoring. It's a central location for you to monitor all of your multi-vendor solutions. And using Cloud Insights, you can reduce your cost and improve customer satisfaction through your monitoring. You can troubleshoot, and it makes troubleshooting a lot faster because you can quickly look up, where you're seeing a problem, where you're having an issue, and make a determination as to whether or not the problem is related to your storage or your virtualization environment, or if it's something in the cloud. And cost control and optimization. You can reduce your cost in your hybrid environment by being able to find out where things may be underutilized or overutilized, and figure out how you can right size your environment based on that information. Are there any questions so far? Okay. I think everybody might be on mute too, so I'm maybe just speaking into the wind. So some of the key features. So Cloud Insight provides real-time data visualization of your entire environment. Performance utilization, capacity utilization on all of your infrastructure for both the cloud and on premises. You have the ability to create dashboards and use those dashboards to kind of customize your view of your environment. You can also set alerts based on performance, based on whatever custom policy you want to set to allow you to monitor your environment. If we can set thresholds for bandwidth utilization, you can set thresholds for capacity, CPU, things for specific to your virtual environment, or things specific to your cloud environment, or specific to your storage. So the big question that I always get asked is, what's the difference between OCI and Cloud Insights? They are two different products. One is not intended to replace the other, as far as I'm aware. I've had this conversation with the product teams. Both products are still 100% supported. Both products will continue to be 100% supported. So I don't want anybody to think, oh, I just spent a bunch of money on OCI and then you come up with a new product. That's not the case. They're intended for two different use cases. OCI is intended for a large data center. It's deployed on premises. It requires you to have a virtual environment set up, and it includes the reporting and data warehouse, which uses IBM Cognos. Cloud Insights, it's 100% in the cloud. It's deployed as software as a service, and it provides complete stack visibility into things like containers and your entire virtual environment in the cloud and on premises. Another thing about Cloud Insights that I would consider to be a benefit over OCI is you don't have to do your software updates. Because it lives in the cloud, the updates are done weekly. In the cloud, behind the scenes, you don't even notice it, and it just works. So you're always running the latest and greatest. You don't have to worry about deploying bug fixes and things like you do with OCI. That being said, they do meet a lot of the same, there's a lot of crossover. They do meet a lot of the same needs. But one, OCI is better for your larger environments, for large data centers and your internal infrastructure. So how does customer one use Cloud Insights? Number one, you can reduce mean time to resolution. So operation teams, I'm in the process of training our operation team right now to use things like custom queries and dashboards to observe storage related issues. And through some of these dashboards, they can find things more quickly. A lot of it is learning to use the product. But once you've learned how to search for specific issues with queries, create specific custom dashboards that will allow you to quickly spot common issues, then you can really reduce your time to figure out how, what's going on, or if it's even a storage related issue, or if it's maybe it could be a network issue or something to do with your virtualization environment. Centralized monitoring is key. We currently have 100% of our storage environment in Cloud Insights. We have a little bit of our private cloud with AWS, and we're slowly working to add everything else in there. But currently, we're mostly monitoring just our storage environment within NetApp IT. And then your cost reduction. So the best tool that we have for cost reduction currently is the dashboards. We can create custom dashboards to do specific things and give us specific information that can help us determine whether or not we're getting the maximum utilization out of our existing environment. A couple of those tools are the IO density dashboard, our countdown to extinction dashboard, which shows us when systems are going to be end of support, and kind of gives us a clock to say, okay, in the next 18 months, these systems are going to be going into support. We should start planning for how to decommission those. And it's a sliding scale. And then the top 5 applications dashboard. This one is it could be used for chargeback. We don't currently use it for chargeback, but you could set something up like this top 5 utilization dashboard, application dashboard, so you can figure out who's your big hog application in your environment, and then say, okay, these people are using the most capacity, the most CPU, the most bandwidth, the biggest number of VMs, those types of things. And you can take that information and go back to them and say, hey, you guys aren't contributing your fair share based on how much you're using. And then there's also a searchable application dashboard, so you can just look up a specific application. So all that being said, I'm going to do a demo here, just a quick walkthrough of what this Cloud Insights look like, what do some of these dashboards that I've talked about look like, and just kind of walk you through what's going on with Cloud Insights. Little disclaimer, live demo. You never know what's going to happen. So just to throw it out there in case something's missing or whatever. This is our environment, but all of NetApp IT storage team and storage operations team does use this environment, and some people are still learning, and there's a possibility that some things may get deleted. So I just wanted to throw that out there just in case I click on something and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So this is Cloud Insights. In order to get to Cloud Insights, I'll show you that really quickly. If you want to use Cloud Insights, you need to go to cloud.netapp.com. So let me just start this over again, and I'll show you how to go there from the very beginning. So you go to cloud.netapp.com, which will be here. This is Cloud Central. You will create an account and log in. Once you've created your account and logged in, then that's going to take you to Fabric View, which looks like this, which is loading slowly for some reason. Okay, it's going to take you to Fabric View, and then you can select which product you want to use. I have all these products right now, so this will look much smaller for you until you go in here and sign up for your free demo or purchase the product. You'll click it, it'll give you some information. You'll say you want to do it, it's going to send you an invitation. You'll accept the invitation, and then you can log in. So once you've got that, then you'll click on Cloud Insights to go to Cloud Insights, and then that will take you to your landing page dashboard. The default landing page dashboard doesn't look anything like this. This is a custom landing page dashboard that I created to better showcase what we're doing. This particular dashboard is sortable. I can pick a data center, like a specific data center. Currently, I'm showing all data centers, but I can pick one specific data center and see what's going on, or I can pick a series. Like if I wanted to say every data center that has anything related to production, I could do something like that and say, these are all my production data centers, or I can say, you know, this is my dev data center, things like that. So you can sort it out and see just specific information, or you can not sort it and see all information. So, but again, this is a custom dashboard that I created just to give like a brief overview. As soon as you log in, you can see kind of what's the overall status of the environment. So from here, when you first get started with Cloud Insights, this is all going to be blank. You're not going to have anything in here. And the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to add an acquisition unit and data collectors. So the acquisition unit adding is very easy. You just, we're using Linux servers for our acquisition units. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this little plus right here, select Linux if you're going to do Linux, or Windows if you're going to do Windows, and it provides you step-by-step instructions of exactly what you should do depending on which operating system. Follow those instructions, and it will create your acquisition unit. Then you'll have an acquisition unit listed here, and from that point, you can go and add data collectors. A data collector is just a storage device. So you're going to go in and add each one of your storage devices into here, or not just the storage device. You can add your Microsoft Azure or your AWS, any of those cloud type products you can add into here too. I'll show you what the options are. Anything that says coming soon is not available yet, but any of these other ones you can add as a data collector. So there's your AWS and your Azure, Cisco MDS fabric switches, even Dell and EMC is in there, IBM products, all NetApp products, OpenStack. So you can really monitor a lot of your infrastructure, but not just your infrastructure. You can also monitor your services. So services that are specifically provided from within AWS, you can monitor those things as well individually. And your laptops, individual servers, individual PCs, even if you wanted to do that. You know, people's, Windows laptops sitting at their desk or whatever. So once you've added your data collectors and you've got a big list like we have here, then you can go ahead and start doing things like running queries. So you can do specific queries within here. Some of these queries are canned queries that came with the system. Those are the ones that all have sample beside them. So anything that has sample would be something that was canned and came with, basically came with the product when it was installed. And then all these other queries are custom queries that I've created and other people have created, just so we can, either create dashboards based off those queries or use those queries to pull information. And the queries are going to give you things like, this is a query that shows all the FAS 3270 systems in our environment. There's only 4 because they're into support and they're going to go away soon. Or they're not into support, but they will be into support soon. Those types of things. So you can set your custom queries to do different things depending on what you're looking for. Once you've created some custom queries, now you can go in and you can create additional dashboards. And these are just some of the dashboards that I've created, some sample dashboards that come by default. And again, there's a gallery. So if you want to just see some dashboards that you don't have to go in and create yourself, you can just pull a dashboard from the gallery select which ones you want to see. All these are already installed, but select which ones you want to see, and then it will import those when you click this Add Dashboard button down here. So you select the ones you want, click Add Dashboard, and it installs them. I think they're working to improve this list to give you more canned dashboard options. But again, I'm not a product guy. I'm an actual user, so I can't speak to those type of product related questions. So once you have you have learned a little bit, and you can play around and create your own dashboards. You can do things like the application search dashboard, where you can go in here. All of our applications have a 3-letter code associated with them. So I've added the applications into this application list with all their 3-letter application codes. So now you can go up here and you can search by application code. Like, for example, if I wanted to look at ActiveIQ. Why is the code MAS? I don't know, but that's the code. I can look at the ActiveIQ service, and I can see that it's not using a ton of space, less than a petabyte, compared to other products that are using a lot more. And you can see the information about each one of the volumes and latency, and just all kinds of useful information that can tell you about the health and the status of the application, specifically related to the storage in this case. So that's the application dashboard. I'll show you another dashboard. Some of the more interesting ones to a lot of people are the AWS dashboards, or the cloud-related dashboards. You can see a ton of information in here with regards to the actual cloud environment, where you have your hypervisor IOPS, the CPU utilization, and just all the different information specifically about that particular EC2 instance. So those are the dashboards, and that's kind of how you would, you can get those dashboards to use them to look at different aspects of your environment. And from there, I showed you the queries and the dashboards. Annotations. So we've created some custom annotations for things like application grouping, compute resource grouping, data centers, where you have a specific application that may have 10 sub-applications associated with it. So you create a large group application, and then you assign all those sub-applications to that group. And the reason why that would be important is because if you want to look at the overall utilization for a specific application, you want to know the whole application, not just a couple of the sub applications. So if you create this grouping, then you can assign those to that group and give you a better idea of the overall health of the entire application, not just the sum health of one piece. So that's custom annotations. You can do tons of custom annotations for different specific things about each environment. And then your applications. Applications are specific. They're not custom applications. So you can sort on applications. They're not custom annotations, and they can't be customized. And that's the other reason why we added the overall application grouping, is because you can install the application and it's customized, but there's certain things that you can't do with the application because it's considered a key element. I don't really know why they did it that way. Again, I'm not a product guy. But this is where you would add all of your applications, and then you can go and associate these applications with things like specific pieces of hardware or specific internal volumes. And then that would allow you to then map that back to utilization, and then give you some ability to do chargeback and cost savings. And then performance policies. We're currently not doing any performance policies at the moment. I am doing a class next Thursday where I'll be going over with our operations team how to create performance policies and how to use performance policies. And once I do that, then there'll be more added in here. But what you'll do with performance policies, this is where you would set your alerting. So you can create a performance policy and say, if the storage or the EC2 environment or this VMware environment doesn't meet this performance criteria, then send an alert. And then lastly, the documentation. The documentation is super easy to find. If you just go down here to the help and you go to documentation, it takes you directly to the documentation page. And I like that it opens it in a different tab because you can still go back here and do the thing that you wanted to look up in the documentation. And all the documentation is well written, it's very concise, and easy to follow. And you can do things like if you wanted to do performance policies and alerts, here's documentation on how you would do that. And you can just quickly walk through the documentation. And what I did when I was building out our environment, I just started at the top and I started reading. And as I got to something that I was supposed to do, I would follow the steps within the document, and I made it all the way down through. I'm here right now. So everything else has been done now. So, and that's really, it's that simple. Just follow through and read the document and do each step, and you don't even really have to know anything about it. But if you are familiar with OCI, there are a lot of similarities, specifically in the queries. A lot of these queries look just like, when you're creating a query for OCI, you go in here, the naming is the same. So internal volumes in CI are the same as internal volumes in OCI. There's some subtle differences, and I like the user interface a lot better, but overall, there are a lot of similarities between the two. I think that's it for what I wanted to show you with the walkthrough of the product itself. It's going a little fast, but in summary, it's software as a service based. It's a SaaS based product. It's super easy to deploy. You can monitor everything. I think the cost, there's a 14-day free trial, but after the 14-day free trial, I think the cost is reasonable. I believe there's two tiers. One tier is somewhere around $6 per managed unit, I think, and then the other one is somewhere around $9. Don't quote me on that. Go check it out at the website. But yeah, you can go and check that out. And it's designed for your cloud architected infrastructure. So if you have a customer or a product that's born in the cloud, I highly recommend Cloud Insights because it's built in the cloud for products that were born in the cloud. It works really well for that type of environment. And it also really allows you to leverage your other, it gives you like a break-in to your other cloud products that NetApp also sells. So with that, get out there and start your 14-day free trial whenever you can.
Ezra, it's Elias here. Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
I heard that there is also so there's the trial. There's also a free version of this product. And
I haven't.
Yeah.
I heard something about it, but I haven't seen it. And I guess the upside and the downside for NetApp IT is because it is a NetApp product and we are NetApp, we get the full product, right out the box. So I don't get I don't get to go the same route that a customer might want to go. A customer may want to go, hey, let's try this free version that only monitors our NetApp storage or only monitors one cluster. I don't get to do that. I get the whole product. So
I think you're right. Actually, it just monitors NetApp storage or something like that, but I haven't got the details. So
yeah, maybe we can do one of these, with a product engineer or a product manager, and get him on to give the full product spiel, where I'm just given this is how NetApp IT is using it. So maybe we can have like a follow up and say, hey, you guys have seen how NetApp IT is using it. Here's the product manager, and he's going to tell you more in-depth detail about the product specifically.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, I know you get the full version and all that, but some people have asked me about this free version because it was on some of the slides that I've seen before, and
Let me see.
Yeah, but
I wonder if I go back and log out, can I see that free version? Just to see, for giggles. It probably won't let me because it's not going to let me because I have to log back in. So it has to be somebody who doesn't already have an account.
Somebody here, Stephen Smith, he says it is at the bottom of here, cloud.netapp.com/cloud-insights.
Oh, that's going to be the explanation of the product itself.
It's not the
let me see.
free version, is it?
Yeah, see, as soon as I log in, it takes me through my SSO and it automatically takes me to the full product. Yeah, see, mine automatically takes me to the full product, so I don't get the the middle version.
There's a matrix at the bottom of that URL that talks about basic, which is free, which is no additional charge for NetApp customers. And then it has all these qualifications. You're right, it's NetApp only infrastructure.
Okay.
And then the
honestly,
standard, which is $6, is multi-vendor as well as the premium. So go to the bottom of that URL that was posted in the chat window, and you can see a matrix of the differences.
And honestly, I think if you want to test this out on your NetApp products, it's a great way to learn about the product and how to use the product and those types of things. If you're gonna pitch it to a customer, you can at least say, hey, just use it on your NetApp products for right now and see how that works. I know that there are some things coming down the roadmap that are going to be things like the data warehouse is coming soon. I don't know when, and I don't have that that exact date, but I do know that there will be an IBM Cognos 11 data warehouse that will be part of CI. And I know that there's supposed to be a REST API sometime in the near future. So right now you have to manually input a lot of things, but in the future you'll be able to programmatically input your information using the API.
Has anybody got any questions for Ezra and regarding Cloud Insights today? No questions. You must be really good, Ezra, because nobody's asking anything.